In this video, I shall provide you a step-by-step approach to downloading R. I have provided information on R in page 2 of the syllabus. And so a great place to start is this link here in the syllabus where you can learn more about the R project. And if you go to that link, it will come to this page that talks about what R is, a little introduction about R, the R environment. And so in essence, R is a command prompt driven environment. It builds on the S software, but what we are going to use is the R commander, which is the graphic user interface or the GUI version of R that allows you to use drop down menus and uh, pick on specific tasks in the same way you would use any other statistical software that is currently used like SPSS or Minitab or stuff like that. Okay, so the first step of the process is to download R. You look at the left panel and the first link out there is the CRAN mirror, and this is a set of universal mirrors across the world that actually houses the repository of R files. And as you can see, most of them are housed in some of the esteemed universities across the world. For the US, we will use the one that has the closest geographic location to where we are, which is Indiana University. So we will click on that link, and it allows you to provide for downloading R in multiple environments. And under all circumstances, you are either using a PC, which is Windows, or a Mac, or you are using an open source software like Linux, like a Linux distribution, if you will, on your PC. So either way, you can download R. Um, uh, I would click on the Windows link here to download R for Windows, and um, it's very easy, it's straightforward. This is what you want to install R for the first time. I'm expecting that you're installing R for the first time. So this is what you would basically install. It's going to eventually design for you. It's R 4.0.2 for Windows. It's 84 megabytes, and it runs on both 32 and 64-bit machines. Um, Just a quick introduction is most machines in today's world are 64-bit, and um, but a 32-bit software will run on the 64-bit software. In the old days, when 32 bits and 64 bits were both available, a 64-bit design for a software would not run on a 32-bit, but you don't have to worry because most new PCs are being constructed around the 64-bit uh, framework. So you click on that link and it'll start. It's going to ask you to save the .exe file. You save that file, and once that file is saved, you open that file, and it'll ask you that the app is going to make a change in your device. You say yes, and R starts the process. So while the installation is happening, let me tell you that as you start deep diving into the world of R, you will see that R lives on something called packages, and that is the strength of R. You would need a package depending on the kind of work you are doing. If you are doing, let's say, forecasting, then there is a forecasting specific package that is internally available in R, within which R can perform. If you're into data visualization, there are specific visualization packages that you can download. Some of the very bare bone essentials are already in. So the R commander or the Rcmdr that we will download is also a similar package that we will download as part of R. And that's basically it. Your R is now installed in your PC. So what you want to do here is go into your start menu and click on that, and under R, you could find it either under R or under recently added. You should be able to see the R x64 4.0.2, which is the newest version of R in the 64 architecture. And so what I normally do is I right click on that and I uh, pin to my taskbar. Okay, so then that creates my R right here in the taskbar. Okay, so that is essentially what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go into this R and open up R. Okay, so when I click on this R, it opens up R for me, and as you can see, this is how R shows up. Now what I am after is not this way of using R, because this way of using R is a command prompt driven R. So as you can see, if I hit on this, if I type Q with the two parentheses as it mentions here, and I hit enter, I would quit and I would get out of R. That's not what I am after. Okay, so I'm trying to get back into R, and this time I'm going to download the package as I had mentioned, the package called Rcmdr or Rcmdr. Okay, so that can be done in two ways. One is on the very top ribbon, you'll see something called packages. Okay, so here you can go down into install packages. Okay, so you click on install packages and instantly it starts asking you to select the CRAN mirror from which the repository can be built. And so again, you scroll down and under USA, you choose the one under Indiana University. Okay, and you hit OK. And once you hit OK, it will ask you which specific package you want to install. And as I was telling you, this is the strength of R. This is what makes R so powerful. And because it's an open source software, it's a repository that is collaborated by researchers and people in the industry from all around the world. And only the best case scenarios are what is saved here. So it makes life so much easier for somebody who is working on a piece of the puzzle, and they don't have to reinvent the wheel because a part of that work is already out there. So as a package, I will scroll down and choose what is called the Rcmdr. And if you scroll down into R, you will eventually be able to find under RC, there is something called Rcmdr. Okay, and there's a lot of other plugins also that are available, and again this depends on what kind of more stuff you want to add into Rcmdr. We'll start off with something very basic. Again, the idea of Rcmdr is it's just a GUI version, a graphic user interface, all drop down. But as you can see, there are so many of these plugins. Okay, so fuzzy logic, factor mining, um, multiple plotting schemes, risk analysis, all of those are plugins of Rcmdr that also can be added. I am worried about this very basic Rcmdr first. I hit OK, and it says, would you like to use a personal library instead? I say yes. Yes to both. And it's going to start installing all of my packages one after another. And it's just a process. Once the installation is over, it will eventually show me the background that I would want to see when every time I open up Rcmdr. So it starts showing you that the packages have all been successfully unpacked and they're being checked. And once all of these are checked and everything is in place, then it will eventually show you the interface. While these packages are being downloaded, unpacked, sometimes there may be a long pause for a certain package. Don't think that your computer is hung. It's actually trying to unpack that package. And so certain packages have larger size zip files, others don't. So once all of the packages are completely recorded, what you see here, the cursor, when it's ready for you to put another command, that means the previous command has been completely executed. So now, as it can tell you, the downloaded source packages are in a certain part within users, okay? So now your package has been installed. Now you have to load the package. So what you want to do is go back into packages on the ribbons on the top, okay? And click on that. So if you recall the process, we initially installed the packages and now we are going to load that package. So when you click on load package, it will again ask you which package you want to load. So you scroll down and you choose the Rcmdr package, okay? And you hit OK. And it will instantly tell you that a few packages used by Rcmdr are missing. Okay, so RGL, multcomp, lmtest, leaps, appl pack, and all of those things. Do you want to install those packages? Always say yes. And so it will again take you through the CRAN process. So install packages from CRAN, hit OK. And it will also start installing the other packages as well, whatever was left. So once the packages have all been successfully installed, now your Rcmdr or Rcmdr interface will show up. I'm going to make it full screen so that you can see the entire process here. And what you see on the top are your standard ribbons. And this is where it becomes so much easier to manipulate. So as an example, if you look into the files menu, you click on that, and this is where you can open a saved output, open an ARC markdown file, and so on and so forth. Edit, this is where you do cut, copy, paste, delete, whatever. Data, very, very important. This is where you create a new data set, you can load data set, you can import data from a text file, from SPSS, from SAS, from Minitab, from Stata, from Excel. And we'll do a lot of this from Excel eventually as we build this class. There are a lot of other characteristics that go with the active data set and so on and so forth. Statistics, this is where you look into summaries, contingency tables, means, proportions, variances, non-parametric tests, dimensional analysis, fit models. You can do all 9 yards. Graphs, this is one of the biggest strengths of R, visualization. And so you can do a plethora of graphs and plots by using R. And you can solve a set of multiple models. You can do hypothesis testing, and some of these terms can probably now start to feel familiar because we have talked about these in bits and pieces that we will get into in much more detail the next few weeks. Distributions, continuous distributions, discrete distributions, and so on and so forth, multiple other tools that we have. And so this is in essence a very comprehensive package that will serve all your needs. What I want to show you is you went through quite a bit of a process to get to this place. So when you get out of R, when you get back into R, how do you get into Rcmdr? And with that, I'll end this video. So let's get out of this process here. I'm going to exit this. And I can exit this screen by clicking on that cross on the top right, or I can type here on this screen I can type Q with the starting and ending parenthesis, and I don't want to save the workspace image, and I'm out of R. So now let's look into what happens when I go back to R, because I really want to get into Rcmdr in an easy fashion. So all I do is I find my R icon, I click on R opens up for me, I go to packages, I hit load packages. It gives me a list of packages that are already out there, and it asks me which one do you want to load. I choose Rcmdr, I hit OK, and Rcmdr or the Rcmdr package is getting loaded. And once the Rcmdr is loaded, it will open up the interface that we were talking about. And so this is the same interface within which we will work every time we go into R. And I'll talk about much more detail as we start using this Rcmdr as an interface. But this is how you would want to download this into your respective PC. Remember, the most powerful software in the world is free, and that's what R provides to you. It's portable, you can take it with you wherever you want to go. It is not restricted by any licenses, so even after you leave Indiana State, you go somewhere else, go to your work, you can use R anywhere and everywhere. The power of R.